Hey guys, and welcome to History Behind the Warrior, and today we're going to be talking about the Dragon King Onaga. A millennia ago, before Shao Kahn was the ruler of Outworld, there was another person who was currently in control of Outworld, and that was the Dragon King Onaga. During his time as ruler of Outworld, he hoped to gain eternal life, and he hoped that drinking the blood of an infant dragon would give him immortality. However, he would die before this could be fulfilled, as one of his chief advisors, Shao Kahn, had actually poisoned him and taken over the rule of Outworld. After his death, his army would enter a mummified state. Now, Onaga's army was considered undefeatable because Onaga possessed a very uncanny talent for necromancy, meaning that he could constantly resurrect his soldiers during the battle, making his army truly undefeatable. During the next millennia that followed, Onaga was apparently lost in history. Although Onaga was physically dead, his consciousness still survived. And after Liu Kang had defeated Goro and Shang Tsung, he began plotting his return. Onaga would do this by communicating to a young boy named Sujenko through an avatar named Damashi. He would convince the young boy to embark on a quest to unite the Kamidogus, saying that he would be carrying out the will of the Elder Gods, and his reward for doing such a thing would be that he would have great knowledge bestowed upon him. Sujenko would embark on this quest, beginning the motions that would lead to Onaga's eventual return. Now, during Sujenko's conquest, Onaga would have a cult following that would be guarding the last dragon egg. They would go out and capture the outworld elemental Blaze and force him against his will to guard it. A few years later, Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, the Deadly Alliance, would use their combined power in order to resurrect Onaga's army. The two were successful in resurrecting the army, and decided that they would use this army in order to conquer all of the realms. Raiden would embark on a mission with many of his fellow Earthrealmers in order to stop them, but they ultimately failed, resulting in many of their deaths. Also during this time, the vampire Nitara would convince Reptile to help her access the chamber containing the lost dragon egg. When the two entered the chamber, Nitara's true intentions were revealed, and she destroyed an orb that separated the vampire realm from Outworld. After doing this, she would ditch Reptile and leave him in the chamber alone. After Reptile was abandoned, the dragon egg would hatch and send its energies into Reptile. This would fulfill the prophecy of Onaga's return, as Reptile slowly started to transform into Onaga. Upon Onaga's resurrection, he gained many of his previous abilities, including that of necromancy. Onaga would then travel to find his army, and when he did, he would be confronted by the Deadly Alliance and Raiden. The three would attempt to stop him, but Onaga was so powerful that he could simply walk through their attacks. This would lead to Raiden sacrificing his own life in the hopes of destroying Onaga and his army. However, his sacrifice was in vain, as Onaga simply brushed off the attack. Luckily, Raiden was able to destroy Onaga's army. When Onaga rose from the ashes of the destroyed palace, we can see that he is now in the possession of Shinnok's amulet. Onaga would then use his resurrection capabilities of bringing back all of the Earthrealmers that were killed by the Deadly Alliance. Onaga would then take his place as the rightful ruler of Outworld once more, setting his eyes upon other realms and to bend them to his will. Now during this time, the young boy Sujenko had now become a very old frail man, and he would learn that he had been deceived by Onaga since the very beginning, as Sujenko was responsible for getting Onaga all 6 of the Kamidogus, and would be in a sense responsible for the death of thousands if not millions. To redeem himself, Sujenko would pursue on his own personal mission, righting the wrongs that he had made by destroying the Kamidogus that he had acquired for the Dragon King. During this time, Sujenko had trained with many warriors and absorbed their fighting styles, also recruiting them into a tiny army in order to storm the Dragon King's stronghold. With assistance from Ermac and Liu Kang, Sujenko was able to defeat the Dragon King Onaga. When Sujenko was about to land the final blow, Onaga would separate his soul from Reptile's body. Onaga would attempt to escape into the Netherrealm, but was found by Nightwolf and bound to the plane by the Sin Eater ritual. Onaga would remain there for a very long time until he was discovered by the fallen Elder God Shinnok. The Elder God proposed that he would give Onaga his place at the Outworld throne in exchange for his help in returning him to power. Onaga would agree to this, but not trust Shinnok. During their time working together, Shinnok would inform Onaga about Blaze and his godlike power, saying that whoever defeated him would be able to absorb it. Not long after this, the Dragon King would be approached by Quan Chi, Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn. They then all discussed working together in order to attain Blaze's power. However, Onaga did not trust Shinnok and suspected that the former Elder God had something else up his sleeve. But with no alternative way to escape the Netherrealm, he would accept. He vowed that he would be the one to take Blaze's power for himself, and would destroy anyone that stood in his way. Now during the Battle of Armageddon, Onaga's thirst for vengeance seemed to be too strong, as he attempted to get revenge on Shao Kahn by dragging him off the Pyramid of Argus and attempting to kill him. However, his former advisor was able to escape at some point, and it is strongly believed that Onaga was killed by Shao Kahn during the battle. And that's really it for Onaga, guys. He's certainly one of the strongest characters I've ever talked about on this show, and I honestly do look forward to seeing him return in this reboot of the timeline. But until then, we're just gonna have to wait and see what they're gonna do with the character and the next game. Now, like last week, guys, put in the comments below who you want to see next week, as it gives me a rough idea of what you guys want to see. Anyway, as always, guys, please comment, like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know, and I will see you guys next time.